All right, hello everybody. Hopefully you're doing well. I know Saturday's a very, very busy baseball day, but I do want to get this tournament done, and so we're just going to jump right into it. So, the 1907 Chicago Cubs leading 3 games to 2 over the 1908 Cleveland Naps. However, the Naps have come on. They were facing a 3-game-to-nothing deficit and have won two straight. So the Naps needing to win today to force a Game 7. Will that happen? We shall see. In the other part of this bracket, the 1894 Baltimore Orioles holding a 3 games to 2 lead over the 1884 Providence Grays. So it's coming down to it, down to the end, the final round. It's going to be two teams meeting to see who goes through this crazy tournament that we've had. So hope you enjoy it. And to those of you doing baseball today, looking forward to it. Just a quick announcement. The Legend Sports Universe has been doing a couple live broadcasts, which was really, really cool to see. And hope he does more. Really informative. Really a lot of good stuff. Here, let me just readjust my mic. All right, let us get to the ballpark. All right, we return to West Side Grounds. And Ed Robach will be taking the hill. And Bob Rhodes will be taking the hill for the Cleveland Naps. Let's get to the ballpark. All right, so welcome in West Side Park, I should say, 43 degrees. It's clear, winds 4 miles per hour in from left center field. And the starting defense for a very powerful Chicago Cubs team who's been surprised in the last 2 games. In left field, it's Jimmy Sheckard. In center, Jimmy Schlegel. In right, Frank Schulte. From first to third, Frank Chance, Johnny Evers, and Joe Tinker not getting a start today, so it'll be Solly Hoffman at short, and Harry Steinfeld at third, Johnny Kling catching, and Ed Robach pitching. Robach with a 1.00 earned run average, 1 win, no losses, 18 innings worked, 6 walks, 6 strikeouts, a whip of 833. Leading off here for the Cleveland Naps of 1908 is Josh Clark, hitting .304 with 3 runs batted in. And let's get underway. And thanks to everybody that's stayed through this entire tournament. It has been a lot of fun to bring it to you. All right. So Ed Robach ready to go now. And the 0-1 pitch, skied to center field. Jimmy Schlegel, ranging to his left, makes the catch. So 1 quick out. Third baseman Bill Bradley now strides to the plate for the Cleveland Naps, hitting .231 with 2 runs batted in. Robach has the sign from Johnny Kling. Here is the wind in the 1-2 pitch, fastball, and swung on and missed. So 2 up, 2 down as George Stovall now comes to the plate. George Stovall carrying a .298 average of a home run and 12 runs batted in. Ed Robach kicks and delivers the 1-1 pitch. Changeup swung on. This one grounded to short. Solly Hoffman with the easy play on to Frank Chance for the 1-2-3 first inning. We go to the bottom of the first. It's Cleveland nothing and Chicago coming to bat. Looking at the starting lineup, or starting defense, I should say, for the Cleveland Naps. In left field, Josh Clark. In center, Joe Birmingham. In right, Bill Hinchman. From first to third, George Stovall. Napoleon Lajoie, George Perring, Bill Bradley, and Nig Clark. It's his nickname, of course, real name Jay Clark. And taking the hill, Bob Rhodes. Rhodes with a 1.50 under on average in this tournament. 1 win, 2 losses. He's worked 24, walked 5, and struck out 1. Frank Chance, the player manager for the Chicago Cubs, leads it off here with a .281 average, 2 runs batted in. Jimmy Sheckard waits on deck. Bob Rhodes has the sign from Clark. Here's the wind in the 1-0 pitch. Changeup. Chance swings on this one. Long fly ball to center field, but back on it and making the catch in front of the crowd is center fielder Joe Birmingham. So 1 up, 1 down. Jimmy Sheckard now hitting .214, a home run, 5 runs batted in. Bats from the left. Rhodes has the sign from Clark. Here's the wind in the 2-0 pitch. Curveball. This one sent to center field, deep center field, but once again, Joe Birmingham making the nice running catch back toward that crowd. So 2 away here now in the bottom of the first inning for Frank Schulte. Schulte hitting 406 runs batted in. So 10 for 25 overall in this tournament, including a double and 6 runs batted in, 6 runs scored. The 1-1 pitch, Schulte swings, and this one, a hard comeback to the mound. Bob Rhodes has it, loves it, and fires to George Stovall. So Chicago also goes in order. We go to the top of the second, and it zeros across the board. Hey, Big Clue, good to see you, my friend. Yeah, he certainly has, but you know, I don't like to leave projects hanging out there, so I'm just going to forge ahead. I hope you're doing well. Sorry to leave last night, but I really just wanted to just quietly watch baseball, but I didn't want to hide the chat because in case there was any baseball talk in there. But boy, I really love what Legends is doing. Anyhow, my friend, thanks for coming in here and joining me today at Westside Park. All right, the number 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up now for the Cleveland Naps, and started off here with Napoleon Lajoie. Lajoie, for him, having a rather disappointing tournament, hitting just 227 with 6 runs batted in. Ed Robach kicks and fires. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and this fastball lined to center field. Jimmy Schlegel ranging in and to his right makes the catch. 1 up, 1 down now for Bill Hinchman. Hinchman is 13 for 44 overall with a double, a triple, and 4 runs batted in. Robach with the wind in the 1-1 pitch. Curveball swung on, base hit up the middle. This one splitting Evers and Hoffman. So the first base hit in this game, Bill Hinchman aboard. So the Cleveland third baseman, or I'm sorry, the Cleveland right fielder, eyes still a little blurry today. 9 steals in 1908. Here's the catcher, J. Nig Clark, hitting just 132 with 3 runs batted in. Hinchman leads off first. Robach checks the runner and deals. Full count to Clark. And swing and a miss. Robach picks up his second strikeout. 2 down and a runner on. And here's Joe Birmingham, who's heated up as of late now. For him, this is a good thing. You know, he's 6 for 40 overall and playing an integral part in these last 2 consecutive wins by the Cleveland Naps. Birmingham waits for the Robach delivery, toes the rubber, the 2-0 pitch. Fastball swung on, a liner to center, and Jimmy Schlegel makes a nice catch off the tall blade of grass. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the second, and we are scoreless. Johnny Kling, Jimmy Schlegel, and Harry Steinfeld due up. Again, Joe Tinker being platooned out for Hoffman today. Johnny Kling hitting 367, 7 runs batted in for him. Dwayne Martz, welcome in. There's another channel doing a lot of good stuff. So again, another great channel to check out. You got your baseball needs covered pretty much everywhere in this community, from modern baseball like RJO Network to a good mix of older and really old baseball, and on Bernard Strom Sports Replays, as well as Dwayne Martz doing that great 1961 replay. What a season that was. Yankees and Reds meeting in the World Series, and I think the Yankees still a little bit upset by what happened to them in 1960, the World Series against the Cincinnati Reds. But do check that out. Good stuff. Of course, our Red Sox fan, everybody in the community, bringing you some quality baseball and, dare I say, even lesser sports. All right. Kling leads it off here. Kling hitting 367, 7 runs batted in. So Johnny 11 for 30 overall with 3 triples, or 1 triple with 3 doubles. And he scored twice. Bob Rhodes winds in the 1-0. Curveball. This one chopped off the middle. Lajoie ranged to his right and makes the bare hand throw onto George Stovall. So 1 up, 1 down here. Cleveland tightening up now. Maybe it's seeing this Cubs rotation for the first 3 games, but getting a better handle on it thus far. Jimmy Schlegel now hitting an abysmal 1 for 26. Not much more you can say. Oh, always, Dwayne. Always, Dwayne. You're most welcome. Rhodes deals to Schlegel. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Curveball. And this one missing just inside. Rhodes wanted that call. Doesn't get it. Jimmy Schlegel is aboard. So Chicago with a base runner. Jimmy Schlegel, 28 steals in 1907. And here's Harry Steinfeld. Steinfeld hitting .214, 3 runs batted in. Steinfeld has also scored 3 times, has a stolen base in this tournament, 19 stolen bases in 1907. Rhodes checks Schlegel at first into an aggressive lead. And there goes Schlegel, the throw down. There's a hit and run on. Lajoie's only play will be to George Stovall at first for the 4-3 putout. And a runner in scoring position. So Steinfeld looks like he, at least what we're hearing here, might have tweaked a little hamstring action, but he's going to stay in the game, but playing at reduced effectiveness. That is the report from the clubhouse. Everything on the line here. Sully Hoffman now, the shortstop. Hoffman hitting .133. Again, being platooned with Joe Tinker. Rhodes deals. Here's the 0-1. Hoffman swings. This one, hard chopper to short. George Perring with the nice glove and the throw across to retire Hoffman. And the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. We've played 2, and we are scoreless here at Westside Park, Chicago, Illinois. Home of the Chicago Cubs before Wigman Field would be built for the Chicago Whales of the Federal League, and then the Cubs would move into that park after the demise of the Federal League. George Perring leads it off here now. Perring will be followed by Bob Rhodes and then Josh Clark for the Cleveland Naps. Perring at a .225 clip with 1 run batted in. Kling sets the target. Here's Rulebach's 2-0 delivery. Fastball swung on. Base hit up the middle. This one under the glove of Johnny Evers. So Cleveland picks up its second base hit of the game, and that brings up Bob Rhodes. Perring, no steals in 1908. Cubs looking bunt here. Here's the pitch. And Rhodes gets down one up the third base line. Steinfeld will go to Evers, covering on the wheel play for the shore out. George Perring now in scoring position, and Cleveland threatening. Back at the top of the order now, and left fielder Josh Clark. Clark flies deep right center back in the first inning. Rulebach checks Perring at second and brings it home. The 1-1 pitch to Clark. Fastball swung on, bounder to short. Hoffman to Chance. So 2 away here, and moving to third on the play is George Perring. So 90 feet away is the potential first run of this game as Bill Bradley comes back now. Struck out back in the first inning. Rulebach out of the stretch and the 1-2 pitch. Fastball. And Bradley. Hard ground ball to Steinfeld, who has plenty of time to make the throw across the diamond to Frank Chance to retire the Cleveland Naps. We go to the bottom of the third. Still no score. The new gig, you know what? It's a the new gig is a it's a paycheck, my friend. It's a paycheck. So looking to go on to some other things down the road, but right now it is a paycheck. So, but thank you, Big Clue. Appreciate it. All right, Johnny the Crab Evers will lead it off here, and we'll have Evers, Rulebach, and then back to the top of the order, Frank Chance. So just getting through this Cubs order for the first time here in the bottom of the third. Evers hitting .192 with a run batted in. Bob Rhodes with the 2-2 pitch to Johnny Evers. Evers, little nubber to Lajoie, has to rush his throw. Evers tearing down the line, and he is safe. So Johnny Evers picks up the infield single, the Cubs' first hit in this game. And here's Ed Rulebach. So Johnny Evers with 46 steals in 1907. These Cubs would meet the Detroit Tigers in the World Series and defeat them. Ty Cobb, for his illustrious play through a long season, or through a long baseball career, was never on a World Series winning team. The great Ty Cobb. All right, getting some wires untangled here in the broadcast booth, if one may be so bold as to call it that. Evers with a great lead off first. And Stovall and Bradley playing in at first and third, respectively, looking for that bunt. Rhodes throws over. Johnny Evers is back safely. Rhodes brings it home now, and there goes Evers. The throw down by Clark, and this one is going to get into center field. Evers is tearing for third and makes it. So the Cubs now with the go-ahead run 90 feet away. Robach just needs to put it in play somewhere, hopefully on the right-hand side if you're a Cubs fan. Rhodes with the 0-1 out of the stretch. Fastball. This one right on the outside of the plate. And that is a strike three. Back at the top of the order now for Frank Chance, batting with one down. Fly to deep center back in the first. Rhodes with the 2-2 pitch. Fastball. Chance swings on this one, grounded to short, and coming in to score will be Johnny Evers as pairing is up with it and throws out Chance at first. Chicago Cubs draw first blood here in the bottom of the third. It is 1-0. We definitely need to talk about the big trade one of these days. He also talks about the paycheck thing. A few more shekels are always better than empty pockets. And that is true. That is definitely true, my friend. And I've been keeping up on the hype on Baldur's Gate 3, so I think I'm going to wait and pick that up on PlayStation, I think in September. But coming out very, very soon, if it isn't already, I think it's this week. The long-awaited Baldur's Gate 3 will be out, and we shall see what we shall see. Absolutely. All right, Jimmy Sheckard fly to deep center. Back in the first, 2 down, 1 Chicago run in. Bob Rhodes brings the 3-0, and this one missing outside, and Sheckard will take his base. So another runner aboard here for the Chicago Cubs as Schulte steps in. The right fielder, grounded back to Bob Rhodes in the first inning. Rhodes throws over. Sheckard dives back under Stoll's tag. We have a capacity crowd here at Westside Park. Players actually sitting outside the dugout as Chicago owners want to squeeze every pulse they can into the park today. Rhodes brings it now. The 2-1 pitch. Schulte swings. Base hit left field. Sheckard rounding third. Josh Clark coming up with the ball. And Sheckard, with his good speed, will make it all the way around to third. So runners at the corners for Chicago. And in past victories for them, this is usually the way it's played out. But we're not going to assume anything. Nothing is safe in this dead ball league, in 19th Century League. Johnny Kling grounded to second, back in the second. Bob Rhodes bearing down out of the stretch, throws over. Schulte back. Joe Murdy welcome in to Westside Park in Chicago. He said, well, certainly from the Cubs standpoint, it's a real advantage to have Tinker available for later innings, defense and so forth. Absolutely. Absolutely. Excellent observation by our good friend Joe Murdy. And Joe, I hope you're doing well. All right, Kling back in the box now. And here we go. The 2-1 pitch. Kling swings. This one fouled in third base territory. Bradley giving chase. There's a lot of room here. But this one will get out of play. So a lot of foul territory here in Westside Park. So the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, 1 in. Runners at the corners. Rhodes from the stretch. Johnny Kling swings in this hard grounder to Bill Bradley, who will throw on to Nap Lajoie for the 5-3 or the 5-4 putout. That does it for Chicago, but they do pick up a run, 2 hits, 1 error, and we've played 3, and it's the Cubs 1 and the Naps nothing. Cleveland Naps will send up the 3-4-5 in their order: George Stovall, Napoleon Lajoie, and Bill Hinchman. Stovall nothing for 1. He is grounded to short back in the first. Ed Rulbach thus far has whiffed 2 Cleveland Naps. Lajoie waits on deck. Rulbach with the 0-2 fastball. This one, hard ground ball to Sully Hoffman. Takes it on the nice bounce and fires down to Frank Chance. So 1 up, 1 away. And here's Lajoie now, nothing for 1. Key for these Cubs has been keeping this bat quiet, and they've done yeoman work thus far. Lajoie, as of this at bat, just a 222 average. Ed Rolbach with the 0-2 pitch. Spitball to Lajoie, and this one hits Lajoie. It looked like Lajoie was trying to bunt, couldn't get out of the way in time. So a runner aboard now, and Lajoie, with some wheels, 15 steals last season, or 1908, I should say, for the Cleveland Naps. And here's Hinchman, the right fielder, singled up the middle back in the second. Rolbach checks Lajoie, the 1-0 delivery. Curveball swung on, and this one's going to go all the way to the crowd, and coming around to score on that ground rule double is Napoleon Lajoie. Bill Hinchman with the RBI double, and we are tied here in the top of the fourth inning. Looks like this is going to be a grind-em-out game thus far, baseball fans, as Nick Clark steps in. Clark last time struck out against Ed Rolbach. Rolbach with a check of Hinchman. Hinchman just 9 steals in 1908, but will pick his spots. Rolbach deals the 0-2 pitch to Clark. Changeup. Oh, nice changeup. Ed Rolbach pulling the string there. And that one catching the outside corner. And that is the third K that Big Ed Rolbach can hang up today. So 2 out for the lately hot Joe Birmingham, who lined to center back in the second inning. Hinchman, good leadoff second. Rolbach with a 3-0, or the 2-0 to Birmingham. And this one, just an easy fly ball to right, and ranging toward the line is Schulte for the final out of the inning. However, 1 run and 1 hit, no errors. And we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Cleveland and Chicago knotted at 1. Jimmy Schlegel, Harry Steinfeld, and Sully Hoffman will bat for the West Side Cubbies. Jimmy walked back in the second inning. Bob Rhodes into his motion in the 0-1 fastball. Little bounder to pairing at short. Should be a routine 6-3 put out. Nope, it's more of a bang-bang play, but they do get Jimmy Schlegel. So 1 Cub up, 1 Cub down, and here comes Harry Steinfeld. Grounded out last time up. Rhodes peers in, ready to deal. Here's the windup in the 0-2 pitch. Steinfeld swings, and this one slashed to left, base hit. Josh Clark up with it, the throw to second. Steinfeld was on the move, and he is gunned down. So great play by Josh Clark, and probably not the wisest base running decision by Steinfeld, as Josh Clark was in pretty shallow in that ball and a strong arm. So a big out there executed by the Cleveland Naps. Sully Hoffman now was 0-for-1, grounded to short back in the second. Rhodes deals, here's the 1-1. Hoffman swings, long fly ball to right, but back on it is Bill Hinchman. So a bit of a base running gaffe for Harry Steinfeld, and this game remains tied 1-1. Joe Murdy says Lajoie may have beaten out the bunt if he were able to get it down, but the Naps will definitely take the man on base. Absolutely. Big Clue says, despite what Hoffman's and Tinker's bats may suggest, there was no start Hoffman to use Tinker's defensive sub-strategy in real life. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just using the term platooning time and that for sake of anybody that watches this later. But yeah, I mean, Hoffman did play some games at short, but it wasn't, that definitely was not the case. You're absolutely right. Yeah, and it could very well be that hamstring, slightly strained hamstring there, Joe Murray. I keep this up, I might as well have a few and do it like Harry Carey. We need Aaron Reed for that one. All right. George Paring is 1-for-1, line to single to center. Rolbach deals the 1-2 pitch. Paring swings and fly ball to shallow left field. Jimmy Sheckard comes in about 5 paces and makes the catch for out number 1. So these teams, Cleveland 1-3-1 and Chicago 1-3-0. Each team has stranded 3. Trying to hurry through this game. I think Bernard has one coming up in a little bit less than an hour. What time is it? Yep. I think 1:30. He's doing a doubleheader today. It's a Red Sox extravaganza coming up here in the YouTube sports gaming cabal, if you will. The 1912 Red Sox and the 1950 Red Sox. So looking for that. All right, Bob Rhodes now. Robach with the 1-2 to Rhodes. Fastball, and this one chopped to Evers. Evers ranging to his right, gloves it, bare hands it, and fires it on to Frank Chance. So 2 away here for Josh Clark. We're back at the top of the order for Cleveland. He's flied out and grounded to short. Robach into his wind, the 2-0 pitch. Fastball swung on, and this one smacked to center. Jimmy Schlegel quickly up with it, gets it into the infield. And Josh Clark aboard with a solid single. 2 out here now for Bill Bradley. He has struck out and grounded to third. Josh Clark stole 37 for the 1908 Cleveland Naps. He'll be leading off second, and a good lead it is. Robach throws over, trying to keep Josh Clark honest. Frank Chance with the tag. Clark back safely. Robach now comes home with it. The 1-1 pitch. And this fastball slapped into left field for a base hit, and moving all the way around to third is Josh Clark. So Cleveland threatening with 2 down and 2 on. Clark at third, Bradley at first for first baseman George Stovall. Stovall has grounded to short twice in this game. Johnny Kling out to have a quick word to the mound artist, Big Ed Robach, and now the 1-2. Stovall swings, grounded to Hoffman at short, who will go to Evers for the out. So the Cleveland Naps threaten but do not score. We go to the bottom of the 5th. We're still not at a 1. Joe Murdy says, from what I've noticed with this series, seen a real difference in the last 3 games. The Naps really beginning to wake up and get going. Yeah, at one time, Joe, they were down 3 games to nothing. So, again, could it be that the Naps just getting a good look at this strong Chicago pitching staff? I have no idea. Should this go to a Game 7, though? Should it go to a Game 7? We will see. Who will we see? Jack Feaster will be next in line. So, pretty tough pitching, pretty tough rotation here with Lundgren, Robach, Feaster overall, and 3-Finger Brown. The Cubs may even start Brown for a deciding Game 7, as Brown has yet, it's been a while since he's pitched, so Brown may go next. We'll see what Chicago decides, should this go to a Game 7. All right, Johnny Evers is 1 for 1, singled on the infield. And the 1-0 pitch to Johnny Evers. Fastball, base hit, right field. Hinchman coming in on that play with good momentum prevents Evers from moving to second. But Evers, a speed demon there at the first base, at first sack. They're looking bunt here from Ed Robach. Robach struck out back in the third. Rhodes deals. And there goes Johnny Evers up with it as Clark. The throw down to second, not in time. Johnny Evers gets into scoring position now for the Cubs. They're still looking for Ed Robach to bunt. Rhodes checks the speedy Evers at second, peers in, has the sign from Nick Clark. Here is the 0-1 delivery. Fastball, this one bunted down the first base line. Stovall to Lajoie on the play, and moving to third is Johnny Evers. So, in good dead ball fashion, the Cubs trying to scratch out a go-ahead run here. Back at the top of the order now for player manager Frank Chance. Chance grounded to short in the second, scoring Johnny Evers. Rhodes from the stretch in the 2-1 pitch. Curveball swung on. This one grounded to second. Coming home to score will be Johnny Evers. Chance will pick up his second RBI of the game. And Chicago leading Cleveland now 2-1 as Jimmy Sheckard strides to the plate. Jimmy's flied to deep center and walked. Rhodes pitching now with the bases empty. 1 Cub run in. Here's the wind in the 3-0. Sheckard lines this one to right, and Bill Hinchman, a diving stop, slide, and holds on to the ball. It does not touch any part of planet Earth. So that does it, but the Chicago Cubs pick up another run here in the bottom of the 5th. We go to the 6th, and the Chicago Cubs 2 and the Cleveland Naps 1. Because of my, and who doesn't love a hitter named Wildfire, talking about Schulte. Not so much because of my work schedule, but because a lot of people are sort of broadcasting in the evenings is getting a little bit more difficult for me to do live broadcasts. So until I can figure out how that's going to work, there's going to be fewer games on my channel. But hopefully, when we get a chance to all hang out together, it will be a lot of fun. But usually Robert's on, Legends is on, and what have you. And I really don't like broadcasting at the same time somebody else is. I know that that's not shared in the community, and that's not any sort of judgment on anybody as well. But if you're seeing fewer games, it's because by the time it's time for me to broadcast, it's getting kind of a little bit late considering my work hours at this point, at least till I adjust. So we do have 4 people watching. Thank you for hanging out with me. I do appreciate. I mean, as far as Roberts, the reason I like to try to catch some of his broadcasts. Usually, the people that hang out there are not usually coming to this channel. They're pretty much down the line modern baseball folks. But still, if I'm going to prattle on about community, I don't like to be broadcasting when others are. Now, if somebody has started since I started this broadcast, that I can't help. Looking forward to hearing some news about Shanks 3. Haven't heard much about it yet, except I think there's only 5 of us. So I think we're waiting for some more. Please consider signing on, guys. It literally is hanging out for a night, having fun with the draft, and then a few days later, just a bunch of people were just going to get on. I don't know what channel is going to host it, either Steve's or MV's or even mine for that matter. I have no idea. And we're just gonna send the season and watch it play out and talk baseball and have some fun and do some bench jockeying. This is at most a 3 to 4 hour commitment, if that. That is all. And give it a shot. It might be something you might want to try in your own leagues, no matter what game you play. At least digitally. I think cards and dice would be impossible to do, but digitally certainly. All right, anyhow, enough of that. Napoleon Lajoie will lead it off here in the top of the 6th, and the Naps need to get it going here, but good close game. So Lajoie was hit by a pitch back in the 4th. Big Ed Rolbach with the 0-1 delivery. Fastball, Lajoie swings, fly ball, left field, and Jimmy Sheckard ranging back and gloves it for out number 1, Dwayne Martz. How do you do the draft? Is it on a YouTube channel? If you mean the draft for the Shanks League, that's going to be done live. And we did a mock draft here. And if there wasn't, I don't want to step on Bernard. If Bernard was doing a doubleheader, we could run a little mock draft here to show you how it's going to work. But basically, there you go. It'll be it's going to be a live live broadcast in a given evening, as Big Clue says. You just participate through the chat. So what'll happen is say it's your turn in the draft, Dwayne. Right. So okay. So that's right. You did take part in the mock draft. So that's exactly how it's going to happen. It worked out really, really well. No limitations on Hall of Famers this time, but the constraint is not only the year, but the team in that year. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And because we're not broadcasting games out or anything like that, this is just something that people can enjoy. And thanks to Big Clue for that brilliant idea. This all had its genesis from Todd B. and Big Clue adding that team restriction. I love it. I really, really love it. All right. Dwayne, you're in our Discord. Just put in the Discord on the Howie Shanks forum. And, just say, I'm in. It's all you got to do, and you're in. Nice. All right. Big Clue, what are we looking for? 10? Are we looking for, hopefully, 10? Going to be a lot of fun. And, for those of you that have, if you have every season for Action PC or you have Out of the Park Baseball, try your own draft. Just have fun with it. Or even just on paper, right? Get those, get some teams down, see how you would do. Maybe a fun thing would be to kind of practice your own draft, like make up your own system for picking a random year, use a random number generator. Maybe assign the teams. The way Big Clue has it It's really cool because you don't know what you're going to get. You can't memorize it. Oh, the Cubs were assigned 13. The Cubs or the Pirates were assigned 17. But just do it and take two teams and play them against each other. Test your baseball knowledge against yourself. That's why I love it. I think it's just another great way to study this most beloved game of ours, right? Baseball. And besides, in the East Coast, here by the end of next week, it's going to be 99 degrees next Friday. So it's our turn. We got to stay in and play ball. Robach deals to Hinchman, 2-2 pitch. And Jimmy Kling dropping the third strike, recovers, fires down to Frank Chance. So 2 down here now for Nick Clark, who's nothing for 2. He has whiffed twice against Robach. And Robach with a 1-2. Fastball, and this one lined to second base, and Johnny Evers grabs that one out of the ether for out number 3. Bottom of the 6th we go. The score still holds. Chicago 2, Cleveland 1. Big Clue says, to illustrate, he took the worst season by winning percentage for every American League and National League franchise from 1901 to the present and looked at those rosters. There were 31 Hall of Famers on those rosters. Wow. That's crazy. The worst season, too. We can't schedule a draft till we know how many teams will be playing. That's really cool, Big Clue. That is really, really cool. And eye-opening. Very, very eye-opening. Wouldn't have thought about that at all. So don't worry about what your team combo will pop up. There's always going to be someone who can help your team. Ain't that the truth? Nice study. So folks watching, so that you know this, Big Clue has done so much research into this. When we did the first Shanks League, Steve Tate and all his work, it's just not something that's it's like, oh, let's just throw it together. It's been really, really thought out. So, and there's enough of a challenge there to craft a good team, and it's up to you. Imagine you're going through that. Maybe you get the 1944 St. Louis Browns. You might. Or you might get the 1985 Pittsburgh Pirates. It's easy when you get the 1929 A's or 1927 Yankees or, any number of teams, the 1906 Cubs or 1907. But yeah, I think it's going to be fun. And again, there's no commitment. Just be there on draft night. That's really it. And you'd be watching a game anyhow, probably. All right, base is empty, and here's Wildfire Schulte. The number 3, 4, 5 hitters due up for the West Siders. Schulte, Kling, and Schlegel. Wildfire singled his last time up. That was back in the 3rd inning. Bob Rhodes with the 0-1. Schulte swings, hard liner to 3rd. And nice play out there by Bill Bradley. That gets by him. That's extra bases for sure. At least a ground rule double if it gets into that crowd. So Johnny Kling now, he is nothing for 2. Chicago catcher has grounded out twice. Rhodes with the 1-0. Fastball. Kling swings. Base hit center field. And Kling tearing for 2. Slides the tag, and he is safe. So 1-out double by Johnny Kling, and the Cubs have one in scoring position. They get this run around. It could be huge in this game. And though I say no lead is safe the way this game has been playing out, if the Cubbies can bring in that 3rd run, that could be enough to send Cleveland home, who have fought valiantly and had really a great tournament, but let's not count them out yet. Jimmy Schlegel has walked and grounded to short. Schlegel, little wave of the bat there as he stands in on the left-hand side of the box. Rhodes checks Kling at second. Here is the delivery, the 0-1. Schlegel, base hit, left field. Kling will come around. No, they're going to hold Johnny Kling. Johnny Kling was around 3rd, about a 1/3 of the way down, and they say get back. We don't want to run on Clark's arm. So now 1 out, runners at the corners. Bob Rhodes looking for double play here, ball obviously. Kling at 3rd, Schlegel at 1st for Steinfeld, playing with a little bit reduced effectiveness, little strained hamstring. Singled his last time and was thrown out at 2nd. Bob Rhodes from the stretch in the 1-0. Steinfeld swings. This will be a clean base hit. Steinfeld picks up the RBI. Johnny Kling comes in to score the 3rd Chicago Cubs run. It's now 3-1. So Steinfeld making up for that base running gaffe with the RBI single. Solly Hoffman has grounded short fly to deep right center, and Steinfeld getting a nice hand from the Chicago faithful. Rhodes deals the 2-0 pitch to Hoffman. Changeup. And Hoffman absolutely smacks this one on a line to center field. Birmingham up with it. And Schlegel, not the most fleetest of Cubs, will be held at third. So the bases are sold out, and there's not even any room in the stable as Johnny Evers comes in. He is 2 for 2, including 2 steals. Jimmy Schlegel at third, Harry Steinfeld at second, and Solly Hoffman at first. So, as Dwayne said that he enjoyed the mock draft, just wait till we get to the actual draft and seeing and tracking, what you've picked, and it's like, oh, geez, I'm holding out for this pitcher or this player, but before, right? So, like, if you were here for Shanks, the first Shanks, Steve Tate was waiting for 1913, so that to come up for him so he could get Walter Johnson. What was a big clue? Steve went to bed, and 2 people later, 1913 came up. So it's not like Steve needed Walter Johnson, but there you go. But this one, you can't even just wait for a year. You might be, oh yeah, okay, 1929, I'm going to get Jimmy Fox or I'm going to get Al Simmons. But you get 1929, but it ain't the A's. So I think that's what makes it so much fun. I hope that we can continue that for a few versions of Shanks. I think it's going to be great. Yep, that was fun. That 1913. He's just waiting. Hey, there he is, Andrew RW603. How you doing, bud? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, last time someone missed their chance to draft Satch Page. Yep. Yeah, I remember that. Our Rangers fan missed Satchel Paige. I wonder how much difference, because Satch didn't make it to the league. And I wonder how much difference he would have made for that team. I think a little bit. I mean, but anyhow, you draft Satchel Paige no matter what, dude. He comes up. Actually, Big Clue, I was going to ask you, how is that? Andrew says he's been real busy lately. How's it going to work with Negro Leaguers this time around, Big Clue? I'm just curious how that will work, or whether they're going to figure into this draft at all, or if this is just. So kind of curious. I don't imagine how that would work, but also there will be a short trade window before the season is played out. So if you don't get, say, a decent starter at a given position, you can take from a surplus somewhere else if you find a match. I can see why it would be hard to do no Negro Leaguers, considering. Makes sense. Still, we're going to have a great representation of players throughout baseball. And some of the greats are going to make it in there, like Campanella, Satch Paige, Monty Irvin. So they did make it to the majors. And Satch Paige is a, 46, 47-year-old rookie. Had one hell of a start. Yeah, he needs a lot more. Okay, and the reason being also, that Stephen created a lot more of them because we need more year team rosters for prominent Negro League teams like the 1936 Pittsburgh Crawfords and the 1942 Homestead Grays. Absolutely. Monarchs, all those great, the New York Black Giants. So I get it. Hopefully, I just don't understand Steve's process to even try to do what he's doing. So hopefully Steve will do this. And but no hurry. We have plenty of baseball we can play for sure. All right, bases jammed. Bob Rhodes from the stretch to Johnny Evers, the 3-1, and the changeup misses. And Johnny Schlegel will trot home now, or Jimmy Schlegel will trot home. It is now 4-1. Do we dare call it a foregone conclusion? The looking bunt here, Chicago will allow Ed Robach to bat. One down. Bob Rhodes deals. Robach on the first pitch sends this one to left field. Clark back on it, tagging at third and coming in to score is Harry Steinfeld. It is now 5-1. So I don't know. Still 3 innings to go in this game. Sully Hoffman and Johnny Evers at second and first, respectively. And I need to pick up this pace here as we got about a half hour before Bernard Strom comes on. Rhodes deals to Chance, who's over. Oh, the throw back, the spin throw, they don't give Sully Hoffman. Lajoie running back there, and Rhodes with a quick move to second, but Hoffman not budging, not buying it. Pretty small lead there for Sully Hoffman. Cubs want to keep this little rally going here. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Frank Chance sends this hard ground ball to first. George Stovall will take it to the bag himself. But the Chicago Cubs pick up 3 runs, 4 hits. There were no errors. We go to the 7th inning, and it's the Chicago Cubs of 1907-5, the Cleveland Naps of 1908-1. Let's look at the pitching line here now, as we usually do here in the 7th inning. Ed Rohlbach has worked 6, 5 hits, 1 earned run, and has struck out 4. Well, I thought Bernard was coming on at 1:30. Oh well. Sorry, guys. And Al's holding a chat. That's cool. It's all good. Well, let's just keep going anyhow. Can't stop a game in the 7th inning. Big Clue says, well, you know, guys, it's easy to switch back and forth. This one's kind of, I think, a foregone conclusion, but we'll see. Big Clue asking, I wonder if there'd be any interest in a keeper league where we drafted Negro League players in 1880 and played through 1900. Or I think you mean National League players with us, yeah. And dropping the 4 worst winning percentages at the end of the 1899 season. So, Bernard, if you catch us on the flip side, I'm sorry. I thought the last time you said you were going to be on was 1:30. So, mea culpa, mea culpa. We'll go there after this. The 2-2 pitch to Birmingham. Birmingham, base hit. And to center field, Jimmy Schlegel takes it on the bounce. And Joe Birmingham is aboard. So, these Cleveland Naps, not out of it, but fading. George Paring has singled and flied out. So Birmingham coming on hotly, more hotly, as it were, hotter of late. Rohlbach throws over, Birmingham slides, and he is back ahead of the Frank Chance tag, but that was a close call. Birmingham needs to be careful. Rohlbach has a great move to first. The 2-1 pitch now to George Paring. Curveball, this one bounced to first. Chance will go to Hoffman, and there will be no return throw. So George Paring on, thanks to the fielder's choice, and Bob Rhodes nothing for 1. Let's see if Cleveland lets him bat. They will not. Elmer Flick, the great Elmer Flick, is in there. Sharper up the first base line. Frank Chance will take this one 3 unassisted. Moving to second on the play is George Paring, but 2 down. So Elmer Flick comes off the bench and grounds out. We'll see if Flick remains in the game. See what Josh Clark can do now for Cleveland as we bounce around back to the top of the order. Clark singled to right center back in the 5th. Paring into his lead. Rohlbach checks the runner. The count even on Clark at 2-2. Chopper to short. Sully Hoffman will go to Frank Chance, and that will retire the Cleveland Naps. Here we go to the bottom of the 7th. It is 5-1 in favor of Chicago. All right, wow, you're saying Bernard's into a second game already. Wow. Because I make it a habit to check to see who's broadcasting, and I guess I didn't receive any notification. So, again, feel really badly. I do. Walter Clarkson now is on to pitch for the Cleveland Naps, so let's look at his numbers. This will be his first appearance in the tournament. Walter Clarkson Give you a little. There he is. Walter Clarkson with a 10.80 earned run average in 1908. No wins, no losses, 3 1/3 innings pitched. Walked 2, struck out 1. So you would think that Cleveland might want to go all out here, but hope springs eternal, I suppose, and they want to save their starters. So bottom of the 7th, Jimmy Sheckard will start it off for Chicago, followed by Wildfire Schulte and Johnny Kling. Sheckard is 0 for 2 with a walk. Clarkson with the 0-2 to Sheckard. Curveball. Sheckard swings. Grounder to first. George Stovall waves off Clarkson and takes it to the bag himself. 1 up, 1 down. As Wildfire steps in, and you're right, you gotta love a nickname like that. 1 for 3, singled back in the 3rd. Clarkson's wind and 1-2 pitch. Spitball. And this one, I mean, solid contact. Schulte rounds first, slides into second with a 1-out double. And I mean, he was tearing around the bases like a wildfire, out of control. So a double for the Cubs. 1 down for Johnny Kling, who was 1 for 3. Doubled back in the 6th. Clarkson checks Schulte. And here's the pitch. Fastball. Kling swings on this one. Grounded to second. Lajoie will with the underhand toss to George Stovall for a 4-3 putout. Moving to third on the play with 2 down now is Schulte. Jimmy Schlegel, 1 for 2. Singled in the 6th. Clarkson from the stretch. The 2-0 to Jimmy Schlegel. Fastball. Schlegel swings. Base hit left field. And Schulte will come in to score. Jimmy Schlegel picks up the RBI. And Chicago picks up run number 6. Now 6-1 is. People will definitely be more hanging out in our Red Sox fan, which they would anyhow, and certainly Bernard Strooms. And can you blame them? It's a 6-1 game now. Chicago in the double digits now in hits. Went on for Harry Steinfeld, who RBI single back in the 6th that scored Johnny Kling. Schlegel with 28 steals. Clarkson with a 3-1 pitch to Harry Steinfeld. Fastball, and this one, Lajoie makes a nice diving stop and fires to Stovall for the 4-3 putout to retire the side. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. 7 in the books here at Westside Park in Chicago. And it's Chicago Cubs 6, the Cleveland Naps 1. Big Clue says his daughter told him today she just doesn't understand his obsession, or Big Clue's obsession with baseball. I told her to go to the library and check out the Universal. Oh my God. Oh yeah, just scare the poor lass, won't you? The Universal Baseball Association by Robert Coover. Great book. Big Clue wanted to give his daughter. Now she's really gonna worry. Good move there, Big Clue. Gotta love it. It is funny. That is funny. All right. Robach hanging on there. He's got some gas left in the tank. As third baseman Bill Bradley will start it off in the Cleveland 8th here. Bradley will be followed by George Stovall and Napoleon Lajoie. Bradley singled his last time up. That was in the 5th inning. Robach with a 1-2. Fastball. Base hit left field. This one passed Solly Hoffman into left field. So Bill Bradley aboard. Cleveland Naps trying to get something going here. Bradley, decent speed at first. The line for Chicago, 6-10-0. For Cleveland, 1-7-1. First baseman George Stovall, Weather Wagon spoke, waving just off his shoulder. He has grounded to short 3 times today. Can he ground one more time to short? Ed Robach hopes so. Here's the pitch to Stovall. And this one sent out to left field. Sheckard, just short of the crowd, makes the catch. Bradley scampers back to first, and he is not going to run on that one. So 1 out, 1 on. Napoleon Lajoie 0 for 2 and was hit by a pitch. Robach checks the runner, the 2-1 to Lajoie. Fastball. This one chopped to short. Hoffman to Evers. 2 chance for the inning-ending double play. To the bottom of the 8th we go. Chicago 6, Cleveland 1. Solly Hoffman will lead her off here. Singled in the 6th. Clarkson on in relief, the 0-1 to Solly Hoffman, and this changeup fly out to shallow right into Bill Hinchman's glove. Here's Johnny Evers in line to get MVP honors, 2 for 2 with 2 steals. Clarkson deals the 3-1 to the Crab, and Evers routine fly ball down the line to right. Hinchman ranging toward the line makes the running catch. So 2 Cubs up, 2 Cubs down. And everybody's looking for Three-Finger Brown. Ed Robach fly to left back in the 6th, scoring Harry Steinfeld. Clarkson with the 1-2. Robach swinging away and liner left. Nice play by Josh Clark for the 3rd out. So the Cubbies go 1-2-3. And we head to the top of the 9th. Cleveland Naps looking at elimination here, but got to give them credit, winning 2 straight after being down 3-0. Bill Hinchman, Nick Clark, and Joe Birmingham will bat, the number 5, 6, 7 hitters for Cleveland, and Cleveland will not keep Elmer Flick in the game. Robach still looking strong out there, looking for the complete game win. Just 1 run, 7 hits, so he's pitched a hell of a game. Each team has stranded 6. Chicago not taking advantage of that bases loaded situation to really bust this game open, but nonetheless a comfortable 5-run cushion. Robach with the 2-2 pitch to Hinchman, and strike 3 called on the curveball. So the Cubs 2 out away from advancing to the final round in this tournament, where they will await one of the 19th century teams, either the 1884 Grays or the 1894 Baltimore Orioles. Nick Clark, now the catcher, has struck out twice and lined to second. Robach's 2-2 delivery to Clark. Curveball. This one sent to center field. Jimmy Schlegel ranging under it and makes the catch. And Cleveland, just 1 out left. Joe Birmingham, who's come on strong lately now, will try to get something going here, but a lot of work to do. He is 1 for 3 in this game. Singled back in the 7th. Chicago looking to move to round 4, and here's the 1-0 pitch from Ed Robach. Joe Birmingham, base hit. This one under the glove of Johnny Evers. Jimmy Schlegel handles it quickly, gets it into Johnny Evers. So that will bring George Paring to the plate with 1 out. And don't think they're going to try anything risky with Birmingham. Paring is 1 for 3. Singled back in the 3rd. Robach winds from the set, delivers the 0-1. This should do it. Grounder to Harry Steinfeld, to Johnny Evers, and the 1907 Chicago Cubs defeat the 1908 Cleveland Naps. Let's look at the recap of this game. Not much to talk about for Cleveland, obviously. Highlights for Chicago, though. Wildfire Schulte goes 2 for 4 at the double. Jimmy Schlegel went 2 for 3. Johnny Evers 2 for 3 with 2 stolen bases. Ed Robach picks up the win. He goes to 2-0 in this tournament. Bob Rhodes takes the loss. He goes to 1-3. So let me see. Hinchman had a double for the Cleveland Naps, and Schulte and Kling doubles for the Chicago Cubs, no triples, no homers in this game. Pardon me. Let's look at pitching here just really quickly. So Bob Rhodes pitched 6 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, all earned, and only 1 error in this game, by the way. 3 walks, 1 strikeout. Clarkson came in, worked 2 innings in relief, 2 hits, 1 run, and it was earned. Getting the win, Ed Robach pitched 9 complete, 8 hits, 1 run, it was earned, and he struck out 5. A great performance by Big Ed Robach, who will go into round 4 with a 1.00 earned run average. Let's look at miscellaneous here. The MVP is Ed Robach. I'm going to award co-MVP to Johnny Evers just for an excellent play performance today. In a losing cause, Bill Hinchman picked up his 5th RBI. For the Cubs, Frank Chance had 2, Johnny Evers, Ed Rulback, Jimmy Slego, and Harry Steinfeld each getting an RBI. 2 steals in this game, again, both by Johnny Evers. And Cleveland stranded 7, Chicago stranded 6. And so goodbye, Cleveland. So the 1907 Chicago Cubs will wait. Cleveland, really, what a great story they had been, though. Give a little bit of love to them here. The 1908 Cleveland Naps in round 1, it was a best of 3, defeated the 1904 New York Giants 2-1. In round 2, defeated the 1909 Pittsburgh Pirates 3-1, and then they fall to the 1907 Chicago Cubs 4-2. The next time we visit this tournament, Providence Grays looking to even it up. So, should be a good one. Old Hoss Radborn had to start last time. Don't know if he has the gas to go around one more time. We may see Charlie Sweeney in that important Game 6. So there we go. That's it. Congratulations, Chicago, says Andrew. Absolutely. You're welcome. Dwayne says, great job in game. Well, guys, you guys got lots of other guys to check out. Our Red Sox fan. You got 2 Red Sox fans going on right now. Our Red Sox fan, Bernard Strom. I don't want to hold you from it. So I'll probably maybe follow one of their broadcasts, probably Bernard, since it's probably baseball. And check in, maybe stay out for a minute and play some baseball offline. I'm just in a baseball playing mood today. So, all right. So, small crowd today, but hopefully folks will check it on the back end, flip side, whatever. So, thank you to Dwayne Martz, to Andrew RW603, and to Big Clue, and to Joe Murdy. And that's it, guys. Make sure to check out all the great channels here on YouTube. And we'll catch you next time. See you around the batting cage, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you.